me squeeze around here. Welcome to McBean's Guided Fitness. Arms and hand prepping and all that other goody two-shoe stuff. I'm setting up a little bit different this time. Trying to set up a little bit different this time. And you may or may not have noticed, we've cleaned up the area a little bit. Now the reason you may not have noticed is some of this area you may not have seen yet because of the angle, but I did clean up to the right of everything. And let's kick that a little bit that way. I'm going to have to make some sort of shield there to kind of block that one of these days. One of these days. Maybe I'll move closer. And there we go. All right. So I'm just going to do some quick single lifts. I wasn't happy with the workout I got in before. Yeah, this is I'm gonna go shirtless so people can make fun of me, I guess. Let's see, get a little chalk on here. I am cleaning up the place a little bit. Rome wasn't built today. But I did clean that area up. And tomorrow we'll work on this area. And hopefully by the fall I'll have the basement cleaned up. Bottom up, top down, I forget which one. 315. No ideas, I'm just gonna do some heavy singles. I worked out 2 days ago. I couldn't go any heavier than 365. I didn't have a spotter. Now I'll probably put a shirt on here pretty quick. Only because you end up sticking to my UPR Tech bench band. So, that's where the people say I don't have a chest. You wish. Shoulders, tries, lats, that's your bench. It's not your biceps. You need to learn what you be talking about. And I'm gonna knock it out probably one. My spotter is busy at this moment. Hopefully it'll be freed up when I go to the heavy one. So remember to say hi to my buddy Michael at the Body Beatdown. Definitely motivates me to stay on top of my game. So just conserving the energy because I want to go heavier. And see where I'm at. Basically about 4 weeks out. My goal is to consistently have a 445 pause. So if I consistently do 445 here, to the point where it's starting to feel more normalized, then 450, 455 should be doable come September 20th or 21st. I still haven't quite figured out which day I'm supposed to be there. Your email says Sunday, their website says Saturday. And it's an hour and a half from here, so really want to make sure I show up on the right day. I'll probably just do a direct phone call and just tell them, listen, I need to know when I need to weigh in. I need to know when I'm going to be lifting. And they just might be looking at last year's calendar and get confused on what day it is. So 4:05 will be next. And I can get me some water. And then hopefully my spotter will be ready by then. He will have to be. And then we'll probably jump to 4:25. Nice. All right. We'll take our tens. Now I'll come back down. Seems like midnight is the trolling hour on my Facebook. You know, I'll get people that have like 2 friends. I just block them, don't even engage those people. The sad ones are the ones that have like, you know, over 1,000 followers and they're trolling. God help you if you allow me to comment, because I'm going to screenshot it and I'm going to make you famous. As a few have found out. All right, 4:25.
I remember when we used to have bench on the bar, it's slip and slide, you know?
Yep.
You got it.
Whew. That's usually the hard one.
Yep. What are we throwing on? Another 10?
Another 10. The 4:45. Man, I really paused it. Seemed like I paused it a long time.
It was a good box.
Sometimes when you watch
nobody would be
sometimes when you watch it many times, but like I said, sometimes you're Superman and sometimes you're Clark. But it's part of my routine. And then depending on how this one goes, it'll determine my next set. Nope. I brought it in too deep. I saw that. And I mean, I did it on purpose. I was trying to see if I could get a little oomph from it. And I thought wrong. So we'll come at it again. I just won't go deep this time. But that one was on me. And as soon as I got down there, I realized I wasn't gonna get the momentum going.
don't fix what ain't broken.
And it's gonna happen, you know. There's times where you're just gonna not have the same level of energy for whatever reason. And it is what it is. So what you do is you take a few minutes, you reset, and you go at it again. But right now the 4:45 is no longer scary, or because I know exactly what it feels like. And a lot of times I'll get it on the second attempt. If I don't, no big deal. It's part of the process. You're going to have ups and downs. The whole idea is you want eventually it to keep increasing. So it tells me that maybe I've got to go back to some things I was doing. You know, maybe some more of the touch and goes. You know, you start analyzing your workout. What have I done different? What have I done the same? How's my nutrition? How's my sleep? Sleep is on the short side, but it's just the way it's going to be. Why I'm working 12-hour shifts on third shift. But you still get in here and you still work out. And you still, just like when Michael did that trip to Clarksville, you know, and then hadn't ate for a while, and you know, he tried the 405 and he just didn't have the energy. You know, he traveled too long, he didn't have enough rest, he didn't have enough nutrition. You know, you're in a new environment, different bench, different weights. All those things will affect you. I tend to lift more at Shorewood Fitness than I do at Premier, but I got a lot more support there. And the equipment's different, a little bit more professional equipment. You know, but you have a lot of people there to kind of ramp you up here. And here at home, it's good to have, and I've made it a lot more comfortable to lift here. And once we get it all cleared out and kind of donate this area just to lift it, I think it'll be better. So let's try it again. So I did better, and it's just going to be one of those days where you don't quite get the work you want, but you still get you're still putting in work. So you know, the whole idea is I just do this as a touch and go, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to blast it up as a touch and go just so I get the activation throughout the whole lift. And that will determine from there. Sometimes you just gotta kind of be stubborn, gotta kind of keep coming at it, and keep the mental mindset positive. A lot of times you can talk yourself out of succeeding. I've seen it happen where people just gave up on something because it's hard. Of course it's hard. Or they gave up because they had a setback. You're going to have setbacks. Setbacks happen all the time. The difference between somebody who's successful and somebody who's not is a successful person keeps trying. They have setbacks just like everybody else. They have injuries just like everybody else. They have good days and bad days just like everybody else. But they keep striving towards a goal, and they don't let anything distract from it. Too often we let outside influences distract you from the goal that have nothing to do with you. Really don't. So what you need to do is you need to focus what your goal is and put your energies towards it. And if you're using energies towards something that's not going to improve your life at all, stop doing it. Alright, you only got so much physical and mental energy. And if you're worried about things that are going on in the world that don't affect you, it's just dumb. Stop doing it. Can't change it, ain't gonna change. Worry about what you can do to improve, protect, and enhance your situation. That's what you need to be worried about. Once you get to that point, things will get better. Not perfect, but things will get better. You're still gonna have setbacks, you're still gonna have failures, you know. Still gonna be days and you're just not feeling it. But you need to look back and say, okay, what have I done? Where have I come from? What progress have I made? What are my goals? And keep going. So even though I didn't get the 445 pause, which I did last time I tried it, hey, that happens. Alright, and I can give you a lot of reasons why, and they're valid ones, But the whole idea is I'm still going on with the workout, and I'm still trying to do better. So that's the difference between success and failure. The success is built on lots of failures, but you never stopped. You kept going. You know, 30 years ago, if you asked me I'd be at this level when I was in my 60s, I would have said, well, absolutely not, because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have that mindset. Now, I was successful in other things, but it wasn't until I hit like 39 that I said, you know, the only person stopping me was me. And I'm not going to let that stop me anymore. Now, if you have bad injuries and things like that, yeah, there's some things that you can't control, but until then, and I see people working out that are very handicapped, and they still keep at it. Until then, you're in full control of your destiny. Not saying you get to lift heavy, not saying you have to be a marathon runner, not saying you have to be a bodybuilder, but if you improve your physical fitness, your mental fitness, and your life fitness, your enjoyment will increase. Trust me now. All right? When you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I don't look too bad. You know, I'm 64-year-old, I don't look too bad. You know? Am I a bodybuilder? No, that was not my aspiration, but I'm very strong. You know, is it perfect? No, it's not. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, skinny legs. Yeah, that's genetics. All right, they're still strong. And the jeans still fit pretty tight, but it's genetics. Just like someone can't bench as much as me. Well, I worked at it hard, and I got the genetics for it. So I knew I was going to be really good at this lift, so I kept going at it. You know, kept working on what I was really good at. After next year, I'll probably change up what my goals are, but until now, I do have a goal to improve my standings in the world. Currently, I'm tied for 5th. I'd like 1st. It's going to be difficult. You know, that 20, 30 pounds is a huge step. You don't think it is, but it is. Once you get to this level, going from a 435, a 440, 445 competition lift to 668 one is a huge step. And that's what I'm trying to do. And we'll see how it goes. I might have to gain a little bit more weight. I've been kind of holding right around 250, 249. And maybe this is telling me I need to, you know, put on a couple more pounds. All right, so we're going to do this as a touch and go. Burned out. It usually doesn't do that. You know? It usually doesn't do that. But like I say, it'll be one of those days. So it'll be more nutrition, more rest. Try to get that right. We'll do a burnout at 3:15 and see how that goes. Workout just didn't go as well as I would have liked it to, but hey, that happens. Get my burnout in, and then tomorrow I don't have a 12-hour day, so maybe I can sleep in. I think I got 4 hours today. I really need 6. Even though I didn't want to, I figured I'd get 10 anyway. Whew! So they'll say, oh, you had 3 more in you. So, even a poor workout's a workout. You try to learn from it. Nutrition and sleep are the two things I need to step back up. But my schedule's kind of keep me from doing it. But still getting the gym and lift.
Hit the pause button, right?
You can actually stop it.